Good morning and happy Monday to you. My name is LaShonda Brown and welcome to Bootstrap Biz Advice Live, where I teach service providers how to work less and live more by leveraging tech and YouTube. The first thing that I want to do is congratulate all of us. Last week, I asked you all to subscribe to the channel because we were getting close to a milestone, and we have officially hit 32,000 subscribers on this channel, which honestly, when I think about the fact that I talk about business and tech, I am over the moon excited that 32,000 people have said, I do want to come back and continue learning from you. So thank you so much for doing that. And I would encourage you as well to like this video at any time if you actually like it. Your engagement on these live streams are helping to push this content in front of new people who are subscribing to my channel and sticking with me for the long haul. So I am so grateful for you. And I just want to start out with just some straight up gratitude because I was like refreshing my phone over the weekend, hoping that I would hit it by the time of this live stream, and it happened. So thank you again for that. Now, the question of the day is, did you start strong this year or did you start soft? And I think the terms gentle, calm, soft are becoming very popular when describing business because frankly, hustle culture is out. And I think a lot of people are looking to adopt new practices. Now, if you happen to start strong, I would love to hear it because everybody I talk to is just like, girl, I'm just hanging on by a thread. But if you decided you wanted to start soft, let me know in the comments as well. I'm just curious about that. You guys know that tomorrow we will be presenting a workshop all about having a soft start to the new year. I will share a bit more about that when I transition to using the Vibe board. But I would love to get some engagement early on in the live stream. So if you can let me know that in the comments, that would be fantastic. Now, I do want to give you all an update on the Start a YouTube Channel in a Week challenge. I did this challenge back in June of 2024, which feels like 15 years ago. And as I started thinking about how I wanted to modify things this time around, I really want to leverage the Bootstrap Biz Advice app. I think that it adds a wonderful component to the membership, and I would love to see challengers utilize this tool as a way to engage with me, get answers to their questions, and get to meet some people who are already in the membership. So here's the game plan in case you were wondering that behind the scenes workflow for how this is going to be executed. I am currently building a wait list. So the wait list is linked underneath of this video. You can join the wait list now. When I finalize all of my systems, today I think I want to record like a very quick screen recording, test things out. Then I will email the waitlist first and you guys will get a discount for signing up before it is public to everyone else, okay? Now, members will also get a discount code because part of the challenge fee is a 30-day membership to Bootstrap Creators. So if you're already in Bootstrap Creators, I don't want you paying twice. So you're going to get $50 off of admission into the challenge. So all of these steps will be handled using Flowdesk Checkout as the onboarding tool. And then people will either sign up for a free trial in the app using Uscreen, or when members join, I'll just add them to the proper channels. The other thing that I'm going to change this time around, and I want to make sure that we have the most amount of time for people to ask questions in real time, is I'm actually going to pre-record the curriculum. Now, for those of you who are online educators, it's going to sound strangely like LaShonda's launching a course, but she's not because she doesn't want to market a course. So you will have pre-recorded modules that will drop every day of the challenge, and the curriculum is outlined on the Flowdesk checkout page. Every day from 1 to 3 p.m., I will be opening up my Streamyard studio for you to hop in for open office hours, for you to ask me questions about the curriculum for that day. The reason why I'm structuring it this way this time around is I really want to start this year soft. And not having to teach 5 days in a row on top of live streaming and everything else I have going on sounds wonderful. So I will pre-record the content, And then I will make myself available for you to ask questions. Now, in a way, I think this is going to be better because this is going to give me the opportunity to screen share with you, see what's going on in your back end, see what you need to do better, show me thumbnails, show me channel art. It's going to be awesome. So I also am doing this from 1 to 3 because my energy levels are so much better morning, mid afternoon. We did it at 7 o'clock at night last year, and that was very hard on my body. Like I get up at 5 a.m. So 7 p.m. might as well be the next day. So those are some of the changes that I'm making to improve on the challenge. I would love for you guys to be a part of it. So as of right now, because I haven't launched it yet, just join the wait list. That'll be coming soon because I'm just fine tuning that. Okay, anything else I want to mention? I think that's going to be it. Let me check in the comments to see how you guys are starting the year, and then I'll share a bit more about our workshop before I pull over the board. So let's see here. What do we got? Cynthia is starting soft. I love that. Felicia said, I love that hustle culture is no longer the way to go. Honestly, I think so many people were keeping up with the wholesome mindset because everyone was talking about it. And so it feels like we've all collectively taken a breath and said, we're not doing this anymore. And so I really appreciate that. Okay, Andrea, the waitlist is linked underneath of the video, so you should see it there. Cynthia said, yep, hustle culture is out. Woo, thank goodness. Agreed, agreed. All right, my friends. So what I'm going to do now is the other thing I want to mention, my team goes back once the live streams are over and we add in time codes. So at any point, if you want to rewind, skip to a section, you can do that. Obviously the time codes aren't live because I'm actively doing the live stream, but we typically will add those codes before Monday's over. So if you watch this replay on a Tuesday, Wednesday, you can always utilize the time codes. I like to do housekeeping first to make sure we're all on the same page because there's a whole lot going on. All right, so as of right now, Cassie has the record for the most amount of people who have signed up for her workshop. I am so freaking proud of her. Her birthday was Saturday, and so this is just going to be an amazing time. Join 190 people who have signed up for our January workshop. If this is your first time hearing about it, here are a few more details, and when I come back, we will be at the board.
Begin the new year with intention and care by joining a soft start to the new year, a wellness workshop with Cassie Butcher on January 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern. This session is designed to help you set gentle, sustainable goals and prioritize your mental and emotional well-being. You will be guided through self-reflection exercises, mindful practices, and practical strategies to ease into the new year with a sense of clarity, peace, and purpose. Together, we will explore how to create a personalized wellness plan that aligns with your values and promotes balance in every aspect of your life. To grab your free ticket, visit LaShondaBrown.com/workshops. And if you're watching this after January 14th, become a Bootstrap Star student to get access to the replay at bootstrapbizadvice.com.
All right, my friends, we are at the board now, which we all love. I do want to just recap a little bit of last week really quick. If you missed it, we talked about starting a YouTube channel in 2025. So I definitely would encourage you to watch that replay. If you missed it last week, I will link it underneath the video when this is over. But we did have 3 questions that I did want to push over to this week. So the first one came from Camille. She asked if I could do a tutorial on Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound is the website that I use for royalty-free music on this channel. So since Camille is a Bootstrap creator, our team went ahead and created that. So that video is live on the channel. So if you also had questions about it, you can go and watch it after this live stream. Justine wanted to know how do you find out what people want to know in terms of what YouTube videos you create? And Elizabeth wanted to know, how do you research topics or ideas? So that's going to be covered this week as we talk about filming your first YouTube video. So I just wanted to make sure you guys know, when you ask questions, if you are members, you can request tutorials. So Elizabeth also had a question about how to install the Buy Me a Coffee widget on her website. That video is going to go live on Thursday. And so that's one of the things that I really love about our membership, The Bootstrap Creator tier is the membership tier of the app. Okay, so Star Students is just access to the workshops. Bootstrap Creator is a member of our community. So that is where we talk about content marketing strategies. I plug you into cohorts to help you to grow, whether you want to grow on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, grow your podcast, grow your email list, or grow brand partnerships. Those are the 6 cohorts that we've got in the channel. And we have monthly coaching calls every month. And so while the live streams are free and open to all of you all, those members get priority in terms of additional help and additional support. So when I talk about the membership, the easiest thing for you to go do is to go to either bootstrapbizadvice.com, or you can go to lashondabrown.com/membership. I'm actually going to quickly share that because, guys, I was shocked at how many members passively signed up for the membership because I created this page. And so I will tell you, that was such a good reminder for me, even as a marketing expert, that you need to have dedicated landing pages for your offers. You can't just go around just saying names. You've got to give people tons of information. So I started talking about what are some of the benefits, giving more testimonials, talking about what's included. And so this has immediately resulted in new members in the membership. So I am thrilled that I did that. And I would encourage you, if you don't have that in your business, make sure that you take care of that. All right. So if we go back to the board, today we are talking about filming your first YouTube video. And so I want to talk about pre-production. Now, there is a checklist available on Buy Me a Coffee, which is also linked underneath the video. Buy Me a Coffee is just an online tip jar. They also have a section called extras. And so when I create a supplemental resource, I just charge you guys $5 for it as a way to support the channel. And you can always go and purchase that. So I've got like Flowdesk templates you asked for. The YouTube workflow template is there. My live stream script is there, all sorts of stuff. So if you are looking for templates and resources, Buy Me a Coffee as of right now is where it's located. So first thing I want to talk about is project management software. Okay. The biggest problem that I see in new YouTubers is they don't have systems in place when they start. They say to themselves, I want to make a YouTube video, and just hope it kind of comes into place. That is not how you need to do things. You have to have a system that you can easily duplicate and a system that is documented so that if you are able to, you can delegate some of those tasks to someone else. But you can only delegate tasks if you have them written down. So the checklist on Buy Me a Coffee has all of the steps. And what I would encourage you to do, whether you use Asana, Trello, or ClickUp, you create a template for creating a YouTube video. So in mine, I just call it YouTube workflow template. Okay, and so that's in the back end of my Asana. And when I am making a sponsored video, then I go in and I duplicate that project. And from there, I start to modify the steps that I need to walk through to make sure I don't miss anything and that my video is ultimately successful when I hit go live. So you cannot go from there is no video to a video on my channel without proper preparation. That's why last week we talked all about strategy. And again, if you missed that, the replay is up. So that is something I really want to make sure you understand. The second thing is marketing management software. Now, I have personally stopped doing a lot of this crap in my head or across Google Docs and Dropbox, and it was a lot. And Enji, I have like 3 videos about Enji on my channel. It's a new software. And what I love about it is it helps me to not only map out my marketing strategy, but to track KPIs, which are key performance indicators. If you are a corporate girly, you have heard this term. If you've always been an entrepreneur, you may not be familiar with it. But essentially, you need to tell yourself what needs to happen from a metric standpoint in order for me to believe that what I'm doing is successful. How do I know this is actually working? Okay. And so what I used to do, and this is so janky, but I bootstrapped it, is I was tracking my KPIs by taking screenshots on my cell phone and saving them to an album on my iPhone. Absolute chaos. Okay. Now it was better than nothing, but I wasn't able to make data-driven decisions because I didn't have it in a dashboard that made it easy to kind of look at what the heck was going on. Was I able to at a glance see, how are my subscribers doing? How's my watch time doing? What is my average click-through rate? Like, none of that stuff. And so what's super great about Enji is you're able to track your performance and even create some new KPIs if the ones that you care about are not listed. So as you create videos as a service provider, this has so little to do with how many people recognize you in public and if you have a YouTube play button or not, okay? I am able to support a team of 6 people off a channel with 32,000 people because I'm approaching YouTube from this perspective, okay? YouTube allows me to have a channel with free distribution. That's all this is. This is not about, oh, LaShonda. Honestly, I hesitate to even call myself an influencer, which is why if you push me to it and say, put yourself in a box, I will always say first, I am a tech educator. Because yes, I may influence some of your buying decisions, but my primary aim is to educate you on how to leverage technology so that you can get closer to working a 20-hour work week like I do, okay? So this is the perspective of someone who is a business owner who is not trying to become an influencer. Completely different mindset if what you care about is just numbers, vanity metrics, being well known. I hope this all makes sense, okay? The last thing that goes into your pre-production, and this goes back to Justine and Elizabeth's question, is how do you know what videos you should be even making in the first place? And y'all know I am not always rushing to use AI. I'm all about being a human being online. However, there are some tools that make your life a lot easier. And so when I'm thinking about tools, the combo that I feel like works really well is ChatGPT and TubeBuddy. Okay, now you're going to use TubeBuddy multiple times in the YouTube process. But the way that I use ChatGPT personally is I have a pulse on what my ideal customer struggles with because I have a business, okay? Many of you are service providers. So you already understand what pain points are because those are the things that you address with your paid offers. But when it comes to the specific questions people have, because you are the expert, you are the teacher and not the student, you may not think of some of those topics that people struggle with from a content perspective. So what you could say, as I was planning, I think I'm doing it either in February or April. I'm going to do a series on email marketing. I hopped in ChatGPT and I said, what are the top 25 questions service providers have about how to use email marketing software or how to leverage email marketing? I tend to ask ChatGPT for an obscene amount of options because half of them are typically bad. I'm just gonna be real with you, okay? And so what I do is if I am struggling with what should I be posting and what could I address, then what I do is hop into ChatGPT and ask it. Now from there, I go over to TubeBuddy and then I start to research some of the keywords that I'm seeing pop up over and over and over again in those ChatGPT results. And based on TubeBuddy telling me what the search volume is and all of those different things, that is how I nail down my topic, okay? So TubeBuddy is a YouTube SEO tool. It is specifically for YouTube. And it is the #1 resource that I tell people they need to subscribe to if they are trying to do YouTube for their business. ChatGPT is kind of a catch-all. We've all heard about it. And so I just use that when I am starting with a blank slate and I just need things to kind of get things going. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. Now there are some common ingredients that everybody who is trying to create a YouTube video on their computer is going to utilize. All right. We're going to start with Canva. You guys know I am a Canva verified expert and there is so much that you can do on the platform, but at a bare minimum, Canva is one of the best tools to create your thumbnails and your channel art. Can you do those things in other platforms? Yes, but the amount of templates that Canva has really does speed up the process. And many of you already have a Canva account. If you don't, you can always go to lashondabrown.com/Canva. And many of these tools that I'm recommending, I have either discounts for or free trials for. So anytime you hear me drop the name of a tool, go to lashondabrown.com/tools first. Most of the links on that page are affiliate links, so it allows you to support the channel at no additional cost to you, but I am always actively negotiating discounts for you. So the easiest place for me to put the discount codes are on one landing page, which is lashondabrown.com/tools, okay? So if you wanna save some money, which many of us do, that is the place to look, okay? Now, the next one we kind of mentioned earlier in the live stream, which is Epidemic Sound. Music is going to make your content look more polished, hands down. I do not enjoy live streams with absolutely no music, even if it's just at the beginning and the end. Try to utilize music. It really helps to retain your viewers, and your watch time is part of what goes into you having a monetized channel. It's also part of what YouTube uses to pushes out your content in front of more people because it helps them to see audience satisfaction. Did someone click on that thumbnail thinking they were going to get a piece of content, go to your content, get what they needed, and stick around for a while? The longer people watch your content, the more that content will be promoted. So music will help with retention. It just will. I don't care who you are. If I, as a corporate film producer, send someone a video without music, they will assume that it's not finished. That's how important music is. So what's key about Epidemic Sound is Epidemic Sound connects to your YouTube channel. And so every time you download music from there, they create a license for you and that music track so that YouTube does not flag your video for copyright infringement, okay? Because there is that integration. So that is huge. You don't want to spend all this time making a YouTube video, add music, and then get it flagged because you don't have the rights to use it. And so that's why it's so important. We talked about TubeBuddy for YouTube SEO. Not only is it going to help your SEO on YouTube, it will help your SEO on Google because YouTube is owned by Google. I have many videos on this channel that receive above average views. And the reason why is because when I type in the keyword that I optimize for in YouTube into the Google search, that video is showing in the top 3 results under the videos tab. You know what I'm talking about? You go to Google, type in a keyword term, and then you look and it suggests some videos. My content pops up. I can see really quick. This is always like a crapshoot because you never know. One that I'm usually, still ranking for it. Okay, so here's a great example. All right, so if we go over to Google right now, I typed in the keyword search term, bulk create in Canva. This was optimized using TubeBuddy. This video was posted on December 15th, 2022, and it is still showing up as the #1 search result in the Google search. This video is 9 minutes long, and this video has generated thousands of dollars through AdSense revenue. I did this using TubeBuddy, okay? So I'm telling you right now, this is a tool you don't want to skip on. It is that important. This is part of how small YouTubers grow faster because they are leveraging the power of SEO, which levels the playing field, okay? You don't have to be the most charismatic person if when people are searching for an answer to a question, your content pops up. Now, your vlogs will more than likely not pop up in the Google search results. But if you are creating how-to content, this is an easy way to be seen, okay? So this is just one tangible example. The first result you see is a page on Canva's website. The first video result you see is a video from this channel. And if you go and check out that video on this channel, you're gonna see over 100,000 views. I have 32,000 subscribers. So clearly the views are not based on my subs. It's based on SEO, okay? So that's how important that is. Now, if we go back, we talked about Canva, Epidemic Sound, TubeBuddy. We got to talk about the hardware because y'all get obsessed with the hardware. What camera should I be using? What microphone should I be using? First, I'm going to say this again. Where's my little thing here? Recommendations are listed on the tools page, not only for software, but for hardware. There's a button at the top of the tools page. But here's the reality. If you can do a Zoom call, you can make a YouTube video. I do not want you stressing about your hardware, your topic, your title, your thumbnail. All of those things are going to be way more important than your hardware because you need people to click on that thumbnail in the search to begin with to actually watch the content. So don't get caught up in this, okay? Now, I will say many laptops do not have great webcams built in. And so you can easily plug in a USB webcam. Typically, I suggest Logitech ones. You can plug in an HD webcam into your laptop, put the little webcam right on top, good to go. Are there more complicated webcams? Yes, but I don't want you getting overwhelmed by tech. I want you posting. So that is a very easy way for you to do that. Same thing with microphones. There are USB microphones. Can you do something super complicated on an arm? Can you wear a clip-on like I'm wearing now? Yes, but you can also just plug in a Yeti into your computer and now you have a better microphone than what's built into your computer. So typically what's built in is going to be lower quality than what you can purchase and connect via USB. That is the simplest way to do that. My recommendations are on the tools page. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is, and we're going to zoom in here, my 3 different recipes, okay? And let me double check in the comments. I've got a whole lot of people here live, but y'all are not talking. So I'm assuming it's because you're paying very close attention. But as I walk through these 3 recipes, if you have questions, please drop them in the comments and we'll address them as we go along. So if you are still listening, my friends, just say listening in the chat because y'all are so very quiet. I love that for you. I really think you're paying attention. But just in case I'm talking to myself, just say listening in the comments and I appreciate your ministry. Okay, Lattes and the Midlife said listening. Okay, fantastic. Love that. Here's the thing. This board literally transforms me into a teacher. Like, I know I'm a teacher, I know I'm an educator, but when you put a board in front of me, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I go in. Like, I actually prefer this to slide decks. Okay, Dee's listening, Felicia's listening, Winstar Bookkeeping is listening. Okay, great. Y'all listening real deep. So don't forget, y'all can rock out the comments. It's also an encouragement for me. So I will check in after every recipe to make sure we're still in it, okay? So when I say recipes, what I really want you to think about is just like a recipe in a cookbook, right? These are suggestions. You can modify, you can freestyle, but it gives you a framework for you to not start from scratch, okay? I made my second chicken pot pie this past Saturday for the snow day. And this time I actually used a recipe instead of just eyeballing it and hoping for the best. Tasted so much better. So the number 1 recipe, I'm gonna be real with you. The number 1 recipe I'm going to give you is using Streamyard. Okay, we already talked about what's in common. You're going to have your webcam, you're going to have your microphone, you're going to leverage Canva, Epidemic sound for your music, and TubeBuddy to optimize your video. But now you got all that stuff in place and you're like, okay, girl, I got my topic. I know what I'm talking about. Now what? Okay. The other thing I just thought about is lighting. Truthfully and honestly, you can just set yourself up in front of a window for good lighting. If for some reason you're in an office with no windows, you can purchase lighting and there is a suggestion for that on the tools page. But lighting to me is like optional depending on what your office looks like. Okay, so if you're recording in StreamYard, here's how I would rock it out. I do have a video that's literally step-by-step. I'll go back and link that after this is over. I think it's like 20 minutes long. People love that video. Here's what I suggest. If you are nervous, you don't need to go live in StreamYard. Some people forget you can use StreamYard like I'm using it right now, where you are teaching in real time, or You can just use it as a recording studio. You will have the same tools, but you don't have to worry about messing up in front of people. And for those of you who get stressed about that, don't worry about it. Just use it in the recording studio feature, okay? Here's my suggestion. Create yourself a very simple slide deck. Now, I've got the one loaded in for the workshop tomorrow, so I can just show you. When you put it into Streamyard, it's not fancy, but you've got your slides where you upload them. You just hit present, upload your slides. You can play around with camera angles. You can do something like this, like this, like that. And so you're able to very easily switch between you and your slide deck, okay? I love this because so many of you are used to that format for teaching a webinar, okay? And so my thought process is, if you create a very simple slide deck in Canva, one that's got your freebie on it, 3 slides that has your 3 points, and then one more page that's got like a call to action or some next steps, that would be a very easy way for you to break up the content, keep it engaging, and make sure that you're growing your list, that you're delivering value, and you're encouraging people to take a next step. I'm trying to give you simple, okay? So you're talking a 5-slide slide deck. Your freebie needs to be talked about within the first, honestly, I would say first 1 or 2 minutes, okay? If you got a free resource, do that, right? So in my case, today I talked about getting that YouTube workflow checklist off of Buy Me a Coffee, but just create a very simple slide that's like, hey, before I hop into the content, I just want to let you know that I have a free YouTube passive income guide. It's a 16-page ebook that's going to help you to figure out if YouTube makes sense for you and how you can monetize the platform. Just go to LaShondaBrown.com/YouTube guide. So even if, they don't finish the video, you're growing your email list because you already have a strategy for nurturing your list, okay? Some of my friends that are thriving on YouTube thrive on the platform because it is their #1 lead gen tool for their email list. It actually has very little to do with the videos. So make sure that you talk about that. I think covering 3 points is sufficient for people to feel satisfied with the content. You don't need to talk for an hour like I do on Monday. You could do something that's 8 to 10 minutes long. So that gives you about 2 minutes on each point. Hit the points. And then say, if you have any questions about these, drop them in the comments. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about this. If you missed the previous video, I talked about that. End it. We don't need a soliloquy. We don't need a feature film. Keep it simple. To be honest with you, because so many podcasts are going over to YouTube, people have a much longer attention span than they used to, and their expectation level for super high production value has gone down. So, you guys are seeing here, granted, I do have a virtual board, but at the same time, I'm just talking basically, and you guys are sticking with me. At the peak, as of right now, I had like 26 people watching live. There's 20 right now. So you don't have to do the most. Now, here's some modifications on this recipe. You can record live like I'm doing, If you like the idea of there is an audience, if you like the comments coming through and you're like, that's an encouragement to me, it makes me feel like I'm speaking versus just talking to myself, go live. But you don't have to keep the replay public. People don't think about that, okay? So you could go live. You could send an unlisted video link to your email list. People are already connected with you. Just so you have the encouragement of, I'm not talking to myself. And then download it from Streamyard. If you want to cut out anything, if you messed up, you misspoke, you started it weird, whatever, that gives you the bandwidth to make some changes before you make it public. Okay, so again, you're still using Streamyard. You're still using the same tool, because the more you use the same tool, the easier it's going to get. But you're not putting that pressure on you to do what I'm doing right now. This takes a high level of focus and technology mastery, okay? But that's what I do for a living. So to me, the best way for me to show you how competent and capable I am is to literally do it right in front of you. So that's why I do the most on my Mondays, because if I get busy and can't post anything else, this is it's like a meaty masterclass. So I know I'm delivering value, even if this is all that I do. Now, the last thing you can do is you can go live and you can actually leave it public like I do. Once I hit end stream, this will be public, and all the views that I got while I was going live will get applied to the video, and it'll keep growing from there, and the chat will stay. That's a benefit of doing it that way. If I really had to, I could go back and I could make minor edits in YouTube Editor. And when I say minor, I mean minor. So back in the day, I used to play countdown clocks, and I realized like, oh, it could be nice if people watching the replay didn't have to sit through the countdown clock. So I would go back and I would trim it out using the YouTube editor. Again, if you misspeak, whatever, you could trim that out. But you don't have a lot of fine-tuning abilities in the YouTube editor. And more than likely, it's kind of janky where if you do edit it, more than likely you're going to get rid of your live chat. So if you care about that, then you'll lose it more than likely when you start making edits to it, because then it becomes a new video. Pros and cons. So again, recipe number one, trying to keep it simple. What I like about Streamyard is I'm also able to use Streamyard as an alternative to Zoom webinar. So the workshop tomorrow, we're doing that in Streamyard. I love that because I can use the same link for people to sign up as to sign up for the replay. So even though I've been linking it in the description of all this content, it will continue to grow my email list passively long after the workshop is over. And so I'm able to get multi-purpose out of my Streamyard subscription by using it for webinars, by using it for live streaming, by using it for recording content. So it's a win for me. So this is one recipe, and I already have a video about how to use Canva, Epidemic Sound, and Streamyard to create a YouTube video. And I made a YouTube video in real time. I will link to it after this is over, but it's already up on the channel in the Streamyard playlist, okay? So that's recipe number one. We have time, so we're gonna do 2 and 3, because I did say we were gonna do 3 different recipes, okay? So recipe number 2 has got pros and cons, and we'll zoom in a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, recipe number 2 is to leverage Riverside. Now, for those of you who are podcast girlies, many of you are recording your podcast in Riverside, so you're familiar with this platform. It is most well known for the podcasting feature. However, you can record video in Riverside. You can edit and record in the same platform, which is phenomenal. Streamyard is really not that robust when it comes to editing, okay? It's for recording and for live streaming. You can do text-based editing, which is similar to a tool called Descript, which is probably the #1 tool that does this. But what's nice is it's already integrated in Riverside. So once you film your video, if you're not much of an editor, you can go through and say, take these words out of this video. And by you deleting the words in the transcript, it will delete it in the video. I have a video about Riverside. I already did it. I will link to that when this is over. But that's a pro. It also has a teleprompter, which I don't think about that often because I use BigView. But again, if you're looking for an all-in-one solution, it has a teleprompter, and it can technically go live as well. So for those of you who are, just trying to simplify your subscriptions, you're like, girl, I want to be subscribed to 10,000 things. I don't need a text-based editor that's separate from my teleprompter, that's separate from my live streaming tool, that's separate from my video editor. Go with Riverside. But again, because it's all in one, it's not as robust when it comes to video editing. Now, for some of you, you may not care about that. You may not care about having all these fancy transitions and overlays and stuff like that. I don't edit the pre-recorded videos on my channel, okay? My team does that in Premiere. It's a lot. It's high quality, it's great, but it's a lot. So if you're editing your own content, the con might actually be a pro for you because you're not gonna get overwhelmed by the interface because it is not the top tier video editing software. But it helps you to simplify your tech stack by having all this stuff in one thing. Okay. So what's nice about Streamyard, Riverside, I'm going to share one more recipe, Tella, all of them have free trials. So everything I'm recommending, go test it for yourself. Okay. You get at least 7 days with all of them, some of them longer. And so set aside some time to say, okay, I have planned my content. I know what I'm going to talk about. Let me try out one of these recipes, see what's a good fit. And if you like it, you can subscribe. Okay. If you don't like it, you can move on without having any money loss. Okay. So that's another reason why I really try to negotiate those discounts and free trials, is because it allows you to test out these tech tools without the pressure of paying for something that's not a good fit. Now, I have vetted them on the front end. All of these tools are legitimately good tools, but it may not be good for you. Okay. So I'm trying to explain how to use them, and then you can decide for yourself if it's a good fit. Now, here's the last recipe, and then I'm going to go to the comments. Okay. And again, let me remind y'all, if you like it, it does truly help. Okay. So if you're finding a lot of value in this, you ain't got much to say because you just locked in. I love that. But just hit that little thumbs up. Great way for you to support the channel. Okay. All right. So going back to recipe number 3 is Tella. Now, a lot of people don't even know about Tella. You've probably have seen it utilized and didn't know what you were looking at. Tella is like a robust version of Loom. And so think about the feature of screen recording. Okay. When I talked about using Canva slide decks with Streamyard, using Tella, if what you talk about is best utilized just sharing your screen, it's more beneficial for you to just be able to record your screen than for you to try to take screen grabs and put them in a Canva presentation. Like, that's too much work. Okay. Now with Streamyard, you can, just like I've been doing, you can also screen share if you need to. But what's nice about Tella is, of all 3 tools of Streamyard, Riverside, and Tella, Tella has the most options for video editing. So if you want to play around with filming something horizontally, creating a reel vertically, doing screen recordings, uploading clips from other platforms, recording in the tool, Tella's the way to go. Okay. You can record in there, you can upload. But yeah, of all the 3, it's got the most robust video editing options, but it is not as multi-purpose as StreamYard or Riverside. So you won't be recording a podcast in it. You won't be live streaming in it, but you will be creating video content in it. Okay. So all of these are super affordable. I'm actually going to bring up Tella because that is the one that the least amount of people have heard of. And let's see here. This is what it looks like. So it is the screen recorder that edits videos for you. So the free trial looks like it is 7 days, no credit card required. Let's see here. So people use it for courses. You can see here, this kind of gives you an idea of what the interface looks like in terms of recording. You can add speaker notes. It works with Mac and PC. You can add transitions, zoom effects, backgrounds. So you can see on the right-hand side, you can do different layouts, which is really cool. Let's see here. You can delete silences, filler words. You can edit with the text. So that's similar to Riverside. So you can see what I mean. Like, there's a lot. You can export it as 4K. You can embed those videos on your website. So there's just a lot. But the biggest thing is it's going to help you to create videos in minutes and not take hours doing it. All right. So I would recommend, if nothing else, giving it a try, seeing if it's a good fit, especially if you utilize screen recordings as part of how you do things, because I do think it is a fun tool in that regard. All right. So we covered a whole lot of ground. We have 15 minutes for questions. Again, if you liked this video, make sure that you give it a like. I do also want to emphasize the fact that the Bootstrap Creator membership is super, super helpful for ongoing support from me if you are trying to leverage content marketing. So whether you are trying to start a YouTube channel, you're trying to grow a list, you're trying to grow your LinkedIn, trying to grow Instagram, and you need some support from somebody who is growing and is knowledgeable, this is the simplest way for you to do it. Just become a Bootstrap creator, okay? So I will be talking about this more and more this year because this gives me an opportunity to continue to serve the small business community at an affordable rate. I rarely talk about the price on this channel, but it's only $50 a month, okay? So this is not a high ticket offer. This is not a robust mastermind. It's simply a way for you to pay for access to the video library in the app, for you to get a ticket to every workshop we do, the coaching call at the end of the month, and get access to that community tab for ongoing support from me and from the membership. There is actually a collab happening with some members already on LinkedIn this week. And so I'm loving seeing people leverage the directory, leverage the DMs, and work together to help each other to grow. I think the biggest downside to running an online-based business is so often we're isolated. We're not getting other people's opinions. We're not getting help. We're doing everything in a vacuum and we're hoping for the best. And I'm telling you right now, you need to stop. Like truly, it's so much longer. It's so much harder to stay motivated when you're working by yourself. It's harder to know if you're on track if you don't have an expert that you can get feedback from. And so what's so great about the mobile app is literally I get on the treadmill in the morning and I just open up the Bootstrap app. I can do it right now. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, and all I do is I just refresh the app on the community tab and I just see, okay, what people got going on? What do they need help with? It looks like this. It's all built in. So it's no Facebook group, no Slack channel. It's everything is self-contained, which is super nice. All of our coaching call replays, workshop replays is in there. You can DM me. Like, it's great. I spent a lot of time working on this last year and I'm super thrilled to have it now. What I might do next week is even work on screen mirroring so you guys can see the app in action while we're on the live stream, but that would be 4 screens and that's too much. So I ain't gonna do it right now. But you can go in the App Store, in the Play Store, you can download it. You should be able to see, if you go to bootstrapbizadvice.com, you can even get access to my 5 YouTube workshop replays and you can watch those in the app. So yeah, it's really cool. Seeing my little, I put it on my, the bottom row. You can see the B right there of my cell phone. So yeah, it's nice. So I'm thrilled. Okay, so let me get some water, push the board back, and answer questions. And in the meantime, y'all don't forget to like this video. Oh, and join the wait list if you don't have a YouTube channel and you want to start one in a week, because that is what we'll be doing first week of February. All right, let's see what these questions look like. By the way, next week, we're going to be talking about simple video editing strategies. So in terms of, great, I've filmed the video. Now what? We'll be talking about that next week. Okay. So I'm going to go back in here. Let's see here. Lots of valuable info. Love the board integration. How do you do that? So in my particular case, I am actually actually, I might be able to show you. I am logged into Streamyard on my Vibe board. And I want to say, I think it's just going to keep sharing. Yeah, it's going to keep sharing what's on the canvas. But I just have, I'm logged into, yeah, I'm not going to be able to show you too much of the back end, but I'm logged into Streamyard on my Vibe board. Let's see, I can show you kind of like that. Let's see. So you can kind of see here. So I'm logged into Streamyard on the actual Vibe board itself. And then I just hit present, and then I'm presenting the Vibe board canvas. So the Vibe board is basically like a giant iPad. And so I just go into StreamYard.com, I open up the particular live stream and just add it as a participant. So but you can see the closer it is to my face, the more it's messing up the video feed. So I will just go back there and push it back. But yeah, it's on wheels and it's just like a literal giant board in my office. So yeah, they were brand partners of mine and they gifted that to me, but you could also do something similar with an iPad. And I have even seen people, if you have like a Windows Surface or something like that, if you just have like a stylus, you could actually screen share with a Canva whiteboard to get a similar effect. So if I were, we'll remove this. Let's see here. Yeah, because we don't need this anymore. I'll remove that and I'll show you. If you go into Canva, and this is like probably like the most bootstrap way to do it. Screen share here. Okay, so if you go into Canva, Canva has a feature called Canva Whiteboards. And so Canva Whiteboards gives you infinite space in Canva that keeps you from having to have like the constraints of a presentation. So if you wanted to do something similar to this, where you were teaching in real time and then drawing, there's actually a draw tool in Canva now. So you can see here, like it's going to be, because I don't have a stylus, but like I can write things in Canva. Now, if I had this in the Canva app on my phone or on an iPad, then that would be better. You can also add in sticky notes and things like that. But if you like the similar effect of me writing in real time and you don't have the budget for a vibe board, this is another way that you could do it. You could just open up a Canva whiteboard and share it as a screen in Streamyard. I would just recommend having some type of stylus like I do on the board, so you can write with the stylus and not with your mouse. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Okay. Question here. How do you feel about faceless channels? I know showing your face partially is okay. So there is a trend going on YouTube for faceless channels. Many of them are generated using AI. Frankly, if you are in a position where you really don't like showing your face on camera, my channel actually started with me not showing my face at all. I would do screen recordings of me doing Canva tutorials or tutorials about MailChimp. I'm talking about way back in the day. But I noticed a huge increase in viewership when I started to show my face. So when you don't show your face, there is a much higher expectation for super high quality content or super high production value. There is less pressure if you show your face than if you don't, okay? Because people need something to keep them engaged. There are channels like Company Man and Magnates Media that I watch where the content creator is never seen or rarely seen on camera. You can do it, but like they literally look like feature films. They have custom animations and music, and they're like these 25-minute mini documentaries about business. And so the expectation is so much higher with faceless videos. So frankly, I would lean more towards showing your face. I think a content type that maybe could work, and I have thought about doing this myself, is like maybe doing it like if you were in like the wellness industry and you were doing like meditation videos, right? Where you were playing super relaxing music and you were recording yourself, just audio, doing a guided meditation. That's something you could probably get away with not showing your face. In fact, it might be distracting to see your face, but it's really highly specific industries, I think, that can get away with not having a ton of production value and also not showing your face. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so is recipe number 1 good for a faceless channel? I would say no, because the slides are more like a supplement to what you're saying. Okay. Now here's the thing. Many of you might be thinking of more like a webinar format when you say faceless channel. So I guess I should specify that too. I've seen a lot of people who will upload a webinar recording as a YouTube video. Technically, you can do that, but the vast majority of people who do that don't do everything they can to make it more engaging. Even if you were to upload a webinar recording as a YouTube video, you would want to trim out any of the like, hey, let me know where you're watching from. Type in the comments, the kind of warm up before you get to the information. So I'm not a huge fan of people taking content they've created for a different purpose and just uploading it to YouTube. People are expecting some level of entertainment value or satisfaction from YouTube content. Many people are watching YouTube like they watch TV. So we do need to have that perspective in mind, that it's not just a video hosting site, but it's a place where people go for entertainment or edutainment, but not just straight information. If I just want straight information, I'm going to Google it and I'm just going to read text and look at photos. If I go to YouTube, I'm wanting some level of engagement and production value to just retain my attention, if that makes sense. Doesn't have to be like feature film, but you got to vary it up somehow. Okay, I want to stream on multiple platforms at once. For example, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Well, can I do this with Streamyard and Riverside? I know for a fact you can do it with Streamyard. Being a multi-destination live streaming platform is what they're known for. I've never tried to live stream to multiple platforms with Riverside. So for that, I'm going to suggest Streamyard. Streamyard's been doing that for years. So oftentimes I will go live on LinkedIn and YouTube the first live stream of the month. Usually I get those sponsored, or I'm using it to kick off a new topic on the channel. And so you can definitely do that. The issue with Instagram is that you can go live on Instagram from Streamyard, but the comments are not going to come through in the dashboard, and you won't be able to pop them up on screen like I'm doing right now. That may change later. But if you go live on Instagram from Streamyard, I highly recommend having like a little desk tripod and just putting your cell phone with the volume down where you can see it. So you can still read the comments, but you won't be able to pop them up on screen. So that is what Streamyard's for. Okay, I'm launching a podcast for coffee-loving moms in the midlife journey. Are creating things like lower thirds necessary when starting on YouTube? StreamYard makes it super easy. You've been watching me pop them up this whole time. There is no man behind the curtain. I'm the one pushing all these buttons in real time. So I think that StreamYard makes it super easy. So typically what I will do before the live stream is I'll come in here and I will create lower thirds that make sense. So, we just hit 32K, question of the day, like this. They will actually stay in my dashboard unless I delete them. So some things like this or like this are ones I use a lot, or even this one. So once you make the lower thirds, you don't have to keep making some of those that get reused. So I think that's a really nice feature of StreamYard. Okay. Adrian says, haven't heard of Tella. Yes. Tella, I'm telling you, many people don't know about Tella, so definitely check it out. We have an excellent presentation. You are so welcome. Let's see here. What else do you have here? Any other questions? Last one, for affiliate marketing, would you say YouTube videos to promote products or service would go much further than blog articles? I would say YouTube videos can supplement your blog articles. So many of you may not even know this, but I have a blog on my website, and I am constantly changing how I'm using it. So as of right now, there is a mixture between Flowdesk tutorials and Canva videos, but we're thinking about making it exclusively Canva, so that when I go and do speaking engagements, like going to Iowa on Friday, then I'm able to say, you can check out my Canva tutorial library at lashondabrand.com/blog. So say, for instance, if you go to this blog post that's about turning a vertical image into a horizontal image, you can see that the YouTube video is embedded in the blog post itself. Then you have the content of the video as a post. You have a link to my affiliate link for Canva Pro. And then at the bottom, you've got some graphics to help you pin it to Pinterest if that's what you want to do. So I highly recommend, if affiliate marketing is something that you're passionate about, it's a huge passion of mine. I have a consulting session today about affiliate marketing, is that you use YouTube. Long form content is going to get a ton of engagement for your affiliate links. And then if you have a blog, embed your YouTube videos in your blog. I'm even embedding YouTube videos in my LinkedIn newsletter now, and I'm seeing an increase in engagement from that. So that is another option. Well, we are literally at 10:59. We answered all the questions and we covered all the topics. So thank you again for everyone who has been watching live. Do not forget to like this video if you like it. I really think we're going to hit 200 people in that workshop tomorrow. So if you want to keep learning, if you want to start soft or get educated from a wellness expert about how to protect your peace in 2025, let's be real, we could all use that. You can go to lashondabrown.com/workshops and sign up for free. Typically, I charge $10 a month for these workshops, or $10 for these workshops, but I thought this one needed to be on the house. So I would love for you to enjoy this workshop. Join us. We will be in Streamyard so you can see the same vibe, but from a webinar perspective tomorrow. So I'd love for you to sign up for that. And if you're like, girl, let's go. Like, can you help me right now? You can always become a Bootstrap creator. Happy to have you. We've already had some new people sign up this month, which is super cool. Kind of fun to wake up in the morning and see new people. So we'd love to have you in the community. But I got stuff to do. So as we like to say on the channel, until next time, to talk for now.